Plotting on the PlayStation 2. This is an old arcade game that's being included as part of the Taito Legends collection on the PlayStation 2. It includes a couple of dozen games. The ones that I recognize are Operation Wolf, Rainbow Island, New Zealand Story, which I played earlier. I believe it was the Switch port I played. Also includes Space Invaders. Again, as part of this Taito Legends collection we got here. It includes a pretty decent selection of games. Unfortunately, it's burned onto a CD-ROM, and even though I'm playing this on a PlayStation 2 Slim, the disc is kind of hard to read. So I'll probably have to clean it off a bit. Yeah, I'll have to clean this off a bit. It's acting up. It took me like half an hour to get this thing started up, so I think the disc or the laser probably needed a lot of help. I tend to believe it was probably the laser. So it's an 89 arcade cabinet. So we're in the Ninja Turtles Double Dragon era and this game came out. Okay, I understand. Game description. Clear the blocks, screen of blocks within the time limit by throwing and bouncing them so they connect with similar blocks. Your character can move vertically up and down the screen and bounce blocks 90-degree angles off the walls, which the attract mode that we saw earlier will show. Only one button. Move up and down, that's it. We can go easy. I'm not opposed to. We'll start easy, then we'll go harder if we have to. Hints and tips. Throw blocks at similar ones to destroy them. Use the wall to hit blocks from above. Reduce the number of blocks below the qualifying number, so you have to clear out a certain number of blocks to clear the level. Special blocks can destroy any other blocks. Those are lightning blocks, I believe. The longer the remaining time in the level is clear, the more points you get, so yeah, time bonus. The fewer the remaining blocks for the level is clear, the more points you get, so having fewer blocks on the screen gives you a point bonus. You can destroy more than one block at a time if they are positioned next to each other. Oh yeah, so if they're like two similar blocks next to each other, you can throw the third block into them and you'll get them both. You'll see me do that a couple of times during this video, I'm fairly certain. So yeah, this is one of those Taito arcade games that I never played when it came out. Again, I didn't play that many games like this in the arcade. I usually played racing and Double Dragon like brawlers and the occasional side scroller. So this is a game. Games like this I'm always interested to go back and revisit. And in this case, we'll take a look at Plotting, a game that's either going to be brilliant or kind of frustrating, depending on your taste in these games. You can see the little arrow there right above the blocks. That shows where the carom will send the blocks. So the idea, as you can see here, is to throw those red blocks into red blocks, or the blue ones into blue, etc., and so forth. The symbols basically show you what you need to target. Which means this game is colorblind friendly, I suppose, because the shapes are easier to distinguish than colors. So I guess that makes this game a bit easier than your typical like color matching game. Your typical match 3 color matching game. Okay, so we got a training stage. Very generous, actually. So this thunderball could be thrown anywhere. Ideally, we should throw it at a place. Yeah, let's see if we can get a combo. Yeah, I can't throw it there. So you see the little arrow right there? That's where the X is going to end up. Got a blue A, an American Online symbol. Can I hit this one? Hold on, there's a power surge. Give me a second. Okay. I'm going to have to cut a bunch of stuff because it looks like my video restarted. Looks like my arcade machine restarted because I thought I'd paused it during my during my electrical surge. Okay, so let's clear out these. Can we clear these? Don't need to. Okay, so as I shoot this green square, it's going to grab the square behind this green square. So this blue square is going to show up. We can grab, we got a double right here. So you can turn that into a triple. So stuff like that. You take a square, you throw it into 2 other squares of the same type, and you get a triple. So that's pretty good. And you grab the square behind this one. It's like this one right here. We're going to grab those 2 X's, and we grab the X that's underneath them. So if we throw this green square here, we're going to grab the X below it, or the X right next to it. And let's try throwing an X right here, like that. So again, pay attention to that arrow, because that's going to show where it bounces out. We're going to grab the blue behind these reds. We're going to grab the X behind these blues. And we're going to grab the red underneath this X. We're going to grab the green behind this red. We're going to grab the X underneath this green. And we're going to grab another green behind that X. I'm going to grab the blue behind this X. The blue underneath this green. There we go. Do one more. Nothing behind this one. Oh, so it dropped. Oh, so it pushed it backwards. That's cool. We're going to grab another blue. Grab that one. Cleared it. So you saw what happened that one time. We threw it at a block that was with nothing behind it, and it wound up getting pushed back, and we grabbed the tile that was at the bottom, which is kind of interesting. Can we grab these? Grab the green there, and we're going to grab this triple green, and we can do the X. We can do the X. I want the X so I can do a double here. Got a triple right there. Okay, I can grab the blue behind that. Now we can't bounce it down, so we'll do that. We'll grab the red. There's nothing behind the red, so watch what happens. So we grab the X below it. We're gonna grab another red. Right there. Got the X. We'll throw it here and get a blue. And we'll grab a green. Let's see where this green goes. It grabs the red behind it, right? Yep, grabs the red. Yeah, we can't do that. We can't match that. So we wasted a life. So I guess we lost a life when we got a quote miss because we picked up a piece that could not be matched with anything. So what do we want? Can we get is there a double behind here? We can grab the double square, the double blue. We can grab a blue here, then bounce it off the top. Whoop! Oh, that's right. We can't match the blue because we can't match that blue right there on the top row yet. Yeah, we can't match the blue off the top row. That's odd. Too bad. I forgot about that. So we can grab the red here. Grab the X. So we'll grab we can't do the triple. That's okay. We can do this. Grab the blue. We're going to grab a green. Yeah, the green's safe. Don't grab the red. Ooh, this is bad. Okay, this is bad. So we got to grab the red. And we can't do anything with it. Yeah, we can't do anything with that red. So that was a bad match. So can we grab the X's here? We can grab the double X's. There we go. We can't match the green. Nope. Do we want a blue? We want a blue. Blue. I want a blue? We have to do a blue. We don't have a whoops! Didn't mean to do that. There we go. I don't think that cost me a turn because it didn't bounce off of anything. We want the green behind it. We don't want the red. We have to do the red. Yeah, we have to do the red. We don't have a choice. Yeah, we don't have a choice there. So that's another turn. That's another turn we wasted. We don't want to grab the red. We don't want to grab the red. We don't have a choice. Yeah, grab the red there. There we go. So grabbing the red there was safe because when that blue piece dropped, the reds above it were going to be a match that was possible. We want the blues. We can grab the blues. Let's grab the greens instead. We got the green below that. Then we'll do a triple on the green. Grab the blue. This will give us a red we can use. This will give us a couple of. Can we grab the blue? No, let's not try that yet. Let's grab an X, then we'll grab the blue. Once you grab the blue, we'll try to do a triple match. No, we can't do that triple match. Nope. So we have to grab the blue the normal way. We're gonna grab a red. Can we bounce that red? Wow, we screwed up. We can't bounce that red, can we? Yeah, we can't bounce that red, so that's a waste. Yeah, we can't bounce that red, so this red is being wasted. Yeah, this red's being wasted. Yeah, what do they want me to do? I can't match this with anything. Yeah, I can't match this with anything. So am I just going to run out of time? Yeah, is there another way I can bounce this? Oh, there it is. I can bounce it that way. Oh, okay. Never mind. I feel like an idiot. So there we go. Okay. So I was worried there for a second. We can match the red here, right? Yes, we can. That's a red, so we're going to get a blue. Gonna get a. We don't want that red, do we? No, we don't. We don't have a choice. We gotta grab that red. So this is a miss. Yep. I ran out of moves. So basically, that was basic. I don't think there was any way I could have gotten around that. I pinned myself into a corner. That's the main problem I have with this game, actually, is that it is very easy to pin yourself into a corner by making matches don't don't do anything. Like you do a match and then you wind up getting a piece after that match that you can't do anything with. So you have to take the L. So we'll continue here. We're playing on the easy mode. Okay. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, this game is fine. It's just I can't really get into it because it seems kind of flaky. It seems really simplistic and it's too easy to make mistakes where you can't recover from them. So the unrecoverable mistakes are a problem for me. I'll be the first to admit. We want the red. We want the blue. We should be able to grab the blue there. Grab the blue underneath this. So remember, when you throw a piece and then it goes downward and you clear it out, it gets replaced by the piece below it. Let's grab a green. We can grab a blue there. We need 22 more blocks. Need a red here. Grab an X. Can we drop that to the bottom? Yes, we can. So you see how it bounces off that block right there that's floating? That's kind of cool. So there's some strategy there. We can do a triple. We have a triple blue right here. There we go. So that becomes a quad. Okay, we can grab a red. No. Red. Let's grab the blue instead, right below it. Oh, okay, so it bounced off the back wall. Okay, so I need to keep that in mind. We're bouncing that off the back wall. Can we grab the two reds right there? There we go. Oh, that X is a waste. We wasted that one. So we're out of turns, unfortunately. We want the red. We can do the red. Can I bounce off that? Can I grab the greens? No, I can't. There's a green behind us. Doesn't really do us any good. Okay, so that was a clear. Okay. So how many blocks I need to clear? I couldn't tell. I thought there were 8 blocks I needed to clear. Okay, qualify 8 or less. So I need 8 blocks. Let's grab that green. That's a quadruple. Okay, we got a red here. It's a triple. You said qualify 8 or less. How did I not? How does that not count? Yeah, how do I know how many blocks how do I know how many blocks I have to clear? It says qualify 8 or less. 8 what? Oh, does that mean I need less? Does that mean I need 8 blocks on the screen and no more? That might be it. I probably have to I have to make sure there are only 8 blocks remaining on the screen. So that's probably what's going on. Can I drop that from the top? Yes, I can. That's a red. Do I want a green? Yeah, I can use a green. Do I want a blue or a green? Let's do a blue. So I can do a blue here and get a red. Trade red for blue below it. Yeah, I can do that. That's a double. And grab a double down here, double red at the bottom, or double blue at the bottom. Get another X. We're almost there. So we have 13 blocks. We need to clear 5 more blocks. Now, can I drop that green and get a red? Yes, I can, right? Yes, I can. Now I'll take that red, and let's grab the blue won't help us, will it? We can't do the blue, so don't do that. Can we do the red? We can't do the red. I don't think we're host. Well, I'm going to take an L on this one, it looks like. Yeah, I'm going to take an L on this one. Yeah, I can't get past this block right here. So that's a problem. The blue will not help me. Yeah, it's a miss, so I'm going to eat that. Okay, what can I clear? Give me the blues. This will clear out 2 blocks, and I'll get a blue. Oh, yeah, that ends my turn. How about that will give me a blue, and that will give me a blue, neither of which I want. This X will give me a blue, which I don't. Actually, will this give me a green or a blue? It gives me a blue, and I didn't want that. Okay, so I need one more clear. The X won't help me. The blue won't help me. Okay, but so I only had 4, 5, 6. There were only 7 blocks left, so I met the qualification. So right at the top of the screen, it says I need 7 blocks. I need to clear out. I need to clear out all but 7, at least 7. I need to leave no more than 7 blocks on the board. So we can do a double with a blue. I can do an X and then get a triple. Then I get a quad at the bottom here to get a green. Okay, so I can do a red here after a double. I can get a green after this. Then I can drop the green and get another red. And the red can be turned into a green. But yeah, the red can be turned into a green because we're moving that red one. Oh, God, I thought that was a green. It wasn't. It hit the block behind it. A red won't help me. The green can help. Okay. So we'll clear out the green and get a red. I can still use that. And then we'll grab the blue below it. This blue can be turned to a red, which doesn't help. Doesn't help there either. I have to take an L on this one. Yeah, this blue gives me a red. So there's this one. So this is a miss. Okay, I thought that was, yeah. So this red helps. And that'll give me an X, which I can use. So the X works. This gives me a blue. And this will give me a red, which doesn't help. Can I grab that blue? Yes, grab that blue. That didn't seem useful at all. No. This is gonna be a red and it's gonna kill me. Yeah. I ran out. So I only get an extra. So there are thunder blocks on the bottom of the screen, next to where it says number of remaining blocks. If I don't get a thunder block, then I don't get any more opportunities. If you get a miss, then if after a miss you get a thunder block, that's how you're able to keep playing. But if you run out of thunder blocks, like here I have 4 thunder blocks, that's how many times I'm allowed to miss. When I run out of thunder blocks, that's it. Because the thunder blocks are wild cards. They match with everything. So let's get a red. And let's grab a green. It's fine. We got a double green right here. Nope, we lost the double green. Let's get an X, and we'll get a quad down there at the bottom. That'll give us another green. We can match to a blue. Or we can match to a red. Which is better? I can match the green and get a red. Then match from the top. Yeah, I can match from the top to get a red. Okay, we're fine. Probably a bad move. Because I'm missing out on a triple green by doing that. So here's a blue. I can grab a blue here for a quad. This will be a triple. That's a quad. Perfect. This X can be hit off the back wall for a blue. Back wall blue for a red. Can I bounce this off the top and get the red? Yes, I can. So this is a safe move. Give me the red. It'll give us a green. Bounce from the top and get a blue. Then from the bottom, we're going to get another red. The red can be hit from the top to get another blue. We don't want that. So let's grab the X instead. So grab that X. This will give us a blue, which probably won't help us. No, that's a miss. So you have to use a thunder block now. What piece are we going to grab after this one drops from top? Okay, that was perfect. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. So when I clear a column like that, I don't know what piece I wind up getting. Does it bounce 90 degrees off the floor? Because that would mean it would move. That means it would slide to the left if it did that. Anyway, let's see. We got X. Grab the X. Oh, it's a miss. Oh, because there's that thing there's that thing blocking us, so I can't take that one. I don't want an X from here. Where does this go? Okay. Oh, that's another miss. That was terrible. I should not have done that. Give me a green. Yeah, green's fine. So I'll do a double here for a red. And this red will give me a blue unless I grab it from the top and I get an X. That's fine. From up top, so we're going to grab a blue here. Can we go from the top? I guess what happens if I take out this column? So it gave me a blue. I can do this column and grab a green. And this will give me a red, which is still possible. We go from the top and we'll still get a red. Again, I don't know which is the better strategy here. Top gives me an X, which I don't want. This will give me a blue, which I don't want. I can match the blue from the back row. Let's match that from the back. So that'll give me an X, and I can use that down here. I can use this here and get a blue, or I can use this here and get a green. And then bounce it from the top and get another X, but that ends my turn. So actually, no, I can still use the X. So this will still give me an X that I can use. That I can use a blue right here. And then I can't really do anything from here. So we'll grab the green, but the green kills me. So I can't do that. Yeah, I can't grab that. So I need to clear out 3 more blocks. So this green doesn't help me. The red won't help me. Yeah, the green doesn't help me here, so it's a miss. Oh, that was just a fair trade. Okay. So from the top, what happens? Do I get another green? Yes, it's a miss. Okay. Can I grab the reds from top? Yes, I can. That's a pipe. Okay, that's a pipe. Okay, so that was a pipe. So that's why I kept. That's why. So I bounced it off the ceiling and it went through the pipe. That's cool. Okay, so we can grab a blue here. So that's a double. Grab the blue. That's double. Give me the red. I can still do the red. Right? Can I still do the red? Can't. I can grab that red from the top, so we're good. So give me the blues. Give me the red right there. Then we'll go from the top. Then with the X, we get the double and get another blue there, and I can do the blue from the top, right? Can I grab the 2 blues? Yep, I can grab those 2 blues in the column. So we'll grab that blue. And then we get a green there. We can grab the greens from the top. If we want an X, we're going to get an X no matter what. Okay, so we can do the X and get another green, then bounce it off the top. That'll give us another X, which we can bounce off the top of the back row, right? Yes, we can. So we'll grab the green. That's X. Then X there. Then the X, then the circles become an X. Then we can bounce it off the back. From the back, we get a green. We can bounce that. The green can give us a blue here. The blue can give us X's, and then bounce the X's off the back row. And then the X's. Like, again, like for a time-based arcade game, this is a bit too relentless, if I'm being honest. Like for like a turn-based puzzle game, I think this would be fine. This will give us an X. This will also drop the blue, right? Okay, so we can bounce this off the back. And the red here will give us a green. Oh, we can use an X in the back, right? Yeah, we can use an X in the back. Yeah, use an X in the back. So use the X on the back, see where it gives us. Okay, that was a waste. Should not have done that. That was a waste. So we'll end this video pretty soon. Because you're starting to see the problems. That there's only so much you can do in this game. You only have so many options, and it kind of gets tedious after a while when you realize you don't have that many choices after a while. So it just seems kind of lame. Too bad, really. I meant to restart actually. So what we'll do is we'll go to the hard mode, I guess, just to kind of see if the timer is more manageable. But yeah, on easy mode, the main problem with this game is that the timer makes things a bit too. Like, in other words, this seems like a game where if you didn't have a timer, like if it weren't an arcade game, you wouldn't have a timer. So you could just play the game as a turn-based strategy game. But because the ticking clock is always on you, I know some people really like clocks in games like this to make them more challenging. The problem is that the stress of trying it becomes some of a dumb form of speed chess, I guess. You're playing a game that's supposed to where you need time to kind of I can't continue. Okay, so I've the number of lives determines how many thunder pieces you have. You know, the wild card pieces. Can I do custom? Nope, because your high score won't be saved. Let's pretend that matters. So what's the deal about hard mode? One life, so not a lot of options there. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the kind of game that could be interesting if you weren't constantly on a clock. But because you're on that clock, it limits your ability to, like, it constantly puts stress on you to make decisions quickly. But that doesn't make the game more complex. It just forces you to make bad decisions. Like, in other words, you can in other words, you're getting better. You're not getting better at the game because, well, even Tetris doesn't have a time component, but there's a sense that you can kind of recover from bad moves in Tetris. Whereas here, it doesn't feel like you can recover because you're constantly on the time crunch. In Tetris, at some point, you can clear out the board. I guess that's what this game is doing with the levels. But again, it's this whole idea where it's a puzzle game where you can actually make mistakes that you can still anticipate them, but it's possible you can spend more time looking at the board and looking at your possible moves before you start moving. That might be the best way to do it. Think 3 or 4 moves ahead, plotting ahead. That might be the way to do it. Okay, so how we want to do this? Is the timer just resets all the time, doesn't it? There's no double here. So you know what we could do? We can do the square, then give the 2 blues. Can we grab the blue here? Okay, so we grab the piece behind it, so that doesn't count. Okay. So the red can give us a blue, or it can give us a green. Let's grab the green, so we can clear out the space on top. Again, if there's a strategy in terms of the most efficient way to do this, I don't know what it is. We're still practicing here. We can grab an X here. It also clears a block. This will give us a green. And this will give us a blue we can use. And the blue can be pushed back to the X, and we can still use that X to get another green, which we can bounce off the top. We can bounce off the top. We're fine. So the X can be used for the green. We can bounce the green off the top to get another blue, and that's still a legal move. We need 9 pieces left on the board. No more than 9 pieces should be on this board. We can grab a green here. That doesn't work. Grab the red instead, I think. Grab the red instead. The red can give us an X, which we can use in the next turn. This will be a double for a green, but the green ends our turn, so we don't want that. But there are no other moves we can use. So we got to grab the green and take the L. Nope, that's fine. The pieces drop. So we can grab the green here and grab an X, but then the X ends our turn. Yeah, I think we're host here. This might be the last piece. Yep, we cleared it. So there were 9 blocks left on the board after that move. Okay. And remember, the bottom of the screen says how many blocks are remaining. So again, we're not going to cheat. I mean, you can adjust the screen position if you want. Yeah, this is how you cheat because the clock's not running here. So before we take, so before we cheat, what move should we take first? Just off the top of your head, what move do you think we should make? Should we grab the green? Should we grab the blue? But should we clear out the green on the second row from the top? You probably can't see because there's a red circle on the bottom row. So if we grab the red circle, the entire line will drop. If we grab there's no way to get to the red, is there? We can bounce the green off the top, grab the red, then clear the reds on the top row, and then the blue can be used to drop the blue column in front. So let's try that. Again, I don't know this. I don't know the screen management strategies here. So we can grab the red from the top. So we have some options here. So grab that blue. We have a double blue here. That will give us a green. We can use the green to grab the X behind us. If we grab can we grab the red underneath that? You can grab the red. So that'll give us an X we can use. Can we use the green? Yeah, bounce it and grab the green. We can clear out that green in front. There's a green wall right there. This will give us an X. Ah, not what I wanted, but I'll take it. This will give me a green that I can bounce off the top. Okay, so we can grab a red there. Red for so red to give me the X, and we can bounce that off the top to get a double. We got a double X right there. To get a blue. Double blue here for a green. We can bounce it off the top for another blue. Then grab the blue here for a whoop. Never mind, we're done. We're down to 9 blocks, so we're fine. Remember, if there are fewer than 9 blocks, we would have gotten bonus points. But once you get to 9 blocks, that was the same here. We have to limit this to 9 blocks. We can grab a blue here, then grab an X, 0. Yeah, grab the red, and grab the X underneath it. The X here will give us a green. We can bounce it off the top, clear the column right in front. That clears out the green column in front. And we got another green here. They give us a blue. Blue will give us another green that we can't use. Push that to the red. We can bounce it off the top. Bounce the red off the top. Give me a green. That's probably bad, but that's the only move I can make. Okay, yep, that was a miss. I don't want a green. Give me a blue here. Bounce it off the top for a green. Or grab the X instead. That's a safer move. Okay, safer move gives me a double X up top from the top. And we cleared it. So we had to eat one of our extra lives to grab that. Yes, I'm pretty sure as a strategy I could eventually learn. The Chiefs are still undefeated. Wow. On a blocked field goal. Some garbage. Give me a blue. So we'll drop it from the top. Give me a blue. This will give me a green. You want an X? An X can give me a green eventually. So we're clearing out more. We can't grab the set. We can't grab that blue on the top row, can we? We can't. Okay, here's the problem. We can't grab that blue on the top row, so we got a problem. Again, I'm cheating, just so you know my strategy here. There's an X on the bottom, so we can grab. So if we hit we cannot grab that blue on the top row. So keep that in mind. You might want to clear out all those pieces. I would argue we need to clear out those pieces because they're harder to aim. So let's clear out the column in front of us, the 2 columns in front of us, and that so we can use this blue piece to exchange for a green. So let's do that. So we'll grab a green. And this will give us another blue. We can't bounce that blue off the top. So let's grab that blue behind us. Can we grab that second? Yeah. So we can grab that blue and then aim it from the top. That'll clear out those. The X can be used in front for a green. Then we can use to clear out the rows. We can use to clear out the columns in front of us. Or we can grab the red here. Grab the red. Grab the red. The red can be used to grab the X. Then we can clear these out and grab a blue. Can we drop that from the top? So there's a blue in the second column we can take out once we do this exchange. That'll give us an X, but that ends our turn. So we're kind of hosed here. Yeah, we need 4 more blocks. That was a miss. Okay, so what's our last option here? I think we should leave the X alone. We can grab the red. If we grab the red, we can clear out that green. The green will give us another green. But there are reds we can use. There are reds we can use. So this will give us a blue, but we don't want that. This will give us a green that we can use. We don't want the X. Leave the X alone. Yeah, that was so we knocked both of them back. That's cool. We want a green below there. We can't grab the second row, so we got to grab the blue, and the blue ends our turn. If we grab it from the top, what will that give us? Another red. 1 more to go. From the top. From the top. Okay, we did it. Okay, that was pretty cool. So what do we got? Let's see. We got an X. We can grab that. So we can grab so in the second row, we got a triple X we can do. That'll give us a green. We got a double green in the row below it. Then we can use the blue to grab the red, and then use. Okay, so we have the first 4 moves should be good. This will give us a green. This will give us a blue. The blue can be used for the red. And the red can be used for the blue or the green. We'll grab the green instead. So we got a double green right here. This will be used for an X. The X will be used to grab the red. Or do you want a blue? Let's grab a blue. Can we grab that? Yeah, we got that. So we can clear out a row of 4 right here. Got a blue. Row of 4. Where is it? Right there. Cleared. All right. So we got 8 more to go. This will give us a green, but it'll drop the row. Can we do it from the top and get a red? Can we do the red? The red will give us an X. That's fine. So we'll do it from the top and get a red, right? Can we grab that? We can't grab that blue in the second column, so that's bad. All right. We're cheating again. The blue will give us a green, but it'll drop the green. Yeah, we don't want to get rid of that green on the second row. It's going to drop that second row from the back. So we can't grab. So there aren't that many moves we can do. So we're going to have to eat it. This will kill us. Green's out. Okay, we're good. So we can have the red behind these. So I missed. So I wasn't sure exactly how the pieces were going to fall there. So that's on me. 5 more to go. Red. We can use a red to grab the X, or we can use it to grab the blue. Okay, if that bottom row falls, I think the blue A is still in place. But then we grab a green, that ends our turn. Yeah, we leave the green alone. Leave the green alone. We can clear out 3 blocks, but we still need 2 more. The blue will give us 1 more block, so we don't want that because if we clear out the blue, that means the green behind it's going to be a dead piece, and they'll end our game. So we could grow from the top, grab an X, use the X to grab the red, then use the red to grab the bottom row, and that might give us a few more chances. I'm probably doing this wrong, but let's see what we can do. We want the X. We got the X. We can grab the red below it, or the red in front of it. Grab the red in front of it. Grab the whole bottom row, right? Yeah, leave the green alone. We want the whole bottom row. And we did it. So that was the safer move. It's only 7 o'clock. It's still showing Bob's Burgers. Okay, so we're going to end this video after this. So we can get rid of all those red. We can get rid of the red column and grab an X. The X will give us a double, so we can clear out the top row. Then we can grab the blue behind it. We can't use anything with the blue, can we? I think we might be able to clear it out. Let's see where this piece drops. There's a blue column we want, second row from the back. Red will give us an X. If we want a blue here, we can use the blue here. So the blue can be used for some reds, or we can use it to grab a green. There we go. Blue from top. We got a green here. We can use the X there. X can give us another green, or it can give us a blue, which you use on the bottom row. That's a red. Red will give us a blue if we want, or we can give us an X. Give us another X. We grab that X on the top. Yes, we can. So we can grab the X from the top and use that to grab some another red, I guess. Yeah, X from the top. So that's a safe move. Okay, 7 more to go. This is going to be rough. Blue doesn't help us. Can we grab an X? Both of those X's can be grabbed. The X will give us a blue, but that probably ends our turn. Yep, that's it. We ended it. All right, got a high score, though. There is one continue, though, so I guess we can try that. But yeah, I don't like... Yeah, this is me. This is a me problem. I don't like the fact that you don't have enough time to think ahead. Like you can ignore the clock, I guess, and kind of set up and kind of give your. But you have to recognize patterns. You know it is. You have to be able to see the blocks and see if you can make another move. Like before you move, sit here for like 30 seconds and see what your moves are. But I'm cheating because I'm learning the game. So eventually you learn the patterns. You learn how the blocks fall. You start learning consequences. You start paying attention to chains. Well, there aren't chains in this game technically, but you start paying attention to patterns, like how blocks fall, what blocks you have to clear out to make room for blocks in the back, like that kind of thing. Like what columns can we not reach, for example? Because I think we can reach all the columns from here. We can reach all the columns. So we can grab a green here. We can focus on the back row if we want. It's probably a bad idea. We're going to grab an X. And then this X can be used for some reds. And the reds can be used for another X. We can use an X for hits a green in the back. And the green can be used for another red. So we got another red. So the red can be used to grab another X, which we can bounce off the back. But we can't use the blue. That's the problem. We can use the blue from the top, so let's do that instead. We got the X. We can grab the blue here. We can grab a red. The red can be used to grab the blue. And the blue can be used from the top row. Use the red to grab the X. So use the blue to grab the X below that, or grab the red. So blue can be used to grab another blue below. So the blue can be exchanged for a red, which can be dropped from the top to grab the blue. Up there. That blue can be dropped over here to grab another red, or be used to grab an X instead. So what's my option here? Grab an X, then grab another blue. Use the X to grab another blue. Use the blue to grab a red, and then grab the red from the top. And that'll be used to grab a blue that we can drop on that blue right behind it. That'll be used for a red. We can drop the red from the top. And I won. All right, so you start to see how I'm starting to see like maybe 2 moves ahead, if not 3. So I'm starting to think about the consequences here. So again, we're going to cheat here. Out. Reset. Okay, so we got a couple of pipes there that are kind of hard to make out. So we got a couple of pipes there. It's going to limit how we can hit the pieces in the back column. So what do we want first? You want to drop. If you grab a blue, that helps. Yeah, if you do X's on top, you can grab the blue. What else can we do? Can we grab a red? No, we want the X's to grab the blue. I would argue we need to clear out the top row first. So a blue can grab an X. See, this is kind of annoying. We can grab an X here. And then use the X's to grab the blue. From top. And the blue can be used to be pushed into the red, which can be used to grab a green. Yeah, green back here. And the green can be pushed back into the blue. Let's make crowd some space. Okay, the blue can be used for another green or an X. An X can be used to grab another green. Okay, so this will give us an X that we can use in the bottom row for a red. Okay, and we have a little bit more space here. We're going to cheat. Okay, so we got an X for a red. So clear out the X for a red, but then the red's going to be on the bottom row if we do that. So clear out the X for a blue. Then the blue can be thrown to the green. That won't work. The blue can be thrown into the red. The red can be used. Okay, so we'll use the red. Then the next 3 moves are confirmed. Got the blue. Blue can be used for the green. We don't want the green. We drop from the top to grab a red. Grab a red. Red can be used for a green, and we can drop in the back row. And we got an X that we can drop from the top to get a blue. The blue can be used to get a green. We leave the green alone. We don't have a choice. That was a miss. We gotta use a thunder. Okay, so we need we had to clear out 2 more pieces. Easy. Grab the X. Done. All right, we got it. So yeah, again, the timer hurts, but being able to pause the game makes the game a bit more playable. So that's good. It's cheating, but we'll account for that, I guess. Let's see. Grab the greens, then grab the blue. You have to in that top column will drop a couple of rows. Then the blue can be used to grab the red, but I don't think the red helps us. We have a blue on the bottom row. Then we can go from there. Okay. Grab the triple here. And we got a blue that we can do from the top to grab an X, but the X is in the way. Grab a red instead. Can we do the red from the top? Yeah, we can. All right. So red down there. From top, we'll grab a green. Use the green to grab the blue. And the blue can be used on the second row. The one behind the pipe for a red. Do we want the red? We want the red. Grab the X instead. It's safer. We also do a blue. Do we want the red? We can't do the red and grab an X. So red gives us an X. The X will give us another red that we can drop from top, right? Okay, the red. So we can do a X for a red. Drop the X for red from the top. That'll give us a green. We can drop in the back row for another X. There we go. That'll give us another X. The X can be dropped from top for a blue. That blue in front on the front top row can be reached. So that's good. What about the one next to it? That red will give us a green. That blue will give us a green. We can use that to get another blue. That blue can be used for a green in the back to give us another blue. And we can grab that blue from top. Okay. So that's a safe move. Green can be used down here for a blue. Blue can be used up top to grab a green, which we don't want. We can use to grab an X instead. That's safe. X from the top. X from the top rope. That's a bonus. X from up top to grab a blue, which is a safe move. But we can't grab that X. Yeah, we can. About to say. Grab that X. Grab a blue for a green. And I won. See? Timer's running out, but I had a bit more time to kind of think it over. Had a chance to have a think about it. All right. What do you want? We got to clear out a bunch, so let's see. Greens in front, maybe. X for a blue. Blue for the X. Another X in front for a green. Green for a couple more X's that lead to a red. So the red's still doable. Okay, so we have the first 5 moves are confirmed. Can we go up top for a blue? That blue gives us some more X's if we need them. We can also get a green here if we want. The green will give us another X if we need it. Let's see. The X can give us green. So the green is still available for a blue if we need it. The blue can be used in the back for an X. The X is still available up front. That'll give us a green that we can grab from. It gives us a green we can use from up top. That'll give us a red we can use from up top if we need to. That'll give us a blue we can use on the bottom row, the second row from the bottom. This will give us an X, or we can grab a red instead, set up something bigger. That'll give us a red. We can grab that from the back row. We don't want the green. Leave the green alone. This will give us a blue we can use for an X, or we're going to use for another red. Or we want our blue from the top to get another red? Yes, we can. All right, red from up top gives us a blue, which gives us another move. Or we can just do a red for a green, then drop the green down low. So red in the back for a green we can drop from up top. That's a miss because there's no green left. So that's my last extra life. Okay, so we can do a. Can we do a red from up top? Clear out all the X's for a red. Then use the red to grab another X. Use the X's to get another red. Okay, so that's possible. Give me a red. Then this will give us another red we can use. Hit the back row. And I won. All right. So we'll call it after this. No more. Well, we'll still cheat, but we'll still call it after this. Okay. So what are my options here? So we can grab all. So the first 4, the back 4 columns can still be reached. That's good. Okay. I don't see any big clears up in front. There are a couple of blues. The blues in the bottom give us a green. The green can give us an X. The X can give us a red. The red can give us a red on top, which leads to another X. So that X might be a bad move. So what's a good first move? We can head for the back, grab the green. The green can give us an X. The X can give us another red. The red can give us a blue. The blue can give us a couple more X's if we need them. All right. I mean, do you want to clear? If we clear the blue out, we get a green. So the green can give us an X. Or another blue if we need it. Okay, let's just go to the bottom. This might be greedy. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. X, blue, or X. We can take the blue and get an X out of it. So that'll give us an X. Triple for another blue. We can hit the blue from the top and give us a red. The red gives us a blue if we want it. Or a green. Let's grab a green. The green gives us another green behind it. Or a blue. We can do the blue from top. Blue from top gives us the green, which we can use on the top row. That'll give us another X that we can use in the second row from the back. That'll give us a red that we can use to get another green. Let's leave the green alone. And we can still use that green to get a blue. So can we do the red from the top? No, we can't. So we can use a red. Let me pause here. Did I say we're gonna stop cheating? We have a green. Then use the green from the top to grab a blue. But the blue's probably a bad move. So we can use a red to grab a blue. I think blue's just bad. So I'm running out of options already. The blue's just bad because I don't think I can grab that blue underneath. I can hit the red on the bottom to grab an X, then use the X to grab another red. Okay. Hit the red on the bottom to grab an X. X can be used to grab some blues. Blue can be used to drop the red. Get another X here. X can be dropped from the top, right? Yep. Oh, yeah. The problem is when you do it from the top, you just get back the same piece. So, all right, so we're done. Dunsky. Did I like this game? Not really. But it has a bit of charm. So I'll give it that. Like, I think if you treat this as a plausible turn-based game, as a plausible real-time game, it's a lot more manageable. But in this state, it's a bit much. It's way too stressful for the kind of, like, again, I guess all the big brains who are really good at pattern recognition, fast pattern recognition, really quick pattern recognition, sounds great for them. The timer is too short. So I would argue it's the kind of game where, again, I think if you're able to like quickly spot patterns and start to see like pieces drop into place and drop out of place, like pieces get dropped from behind barriers like this, like the barrier down there on the second row from the bottom. So if you can start planning your games around that, it starts to make more sense. It's just not as intuitive. All of the stuff about, doing caroms off the ceiling, they aren't as intuitive at a glance. The arrow does help, so I'm glad they included the arrow. But again, I think at some point this game is limited by the fact that you can trap yourself in ways that aren't apparent when you're playing a game like Tetris, where you just always seem to know if you're going to if you put yourself in trouble. Here it feels like you need those arrows to kind of guide you. So it's not terrible you need the arrows because they make the game more. It makes it easier to make quick decisions about caroms and things like that. But again, the timer's just because this is an arcade game. The timer's too ridiculous. So I'm not a huge fan of that. So I think if this weren't an arcade game, there would be some value to this game. So before I end the video, I guess I can tease the next one. But again, I played this on a PlayStation 2 compact disc from Sega. Played on a PlayStation 2 Slim. component, YPBPR output into my SIG component video to converter, HDMI converter, plugged into my Vivitar USB dongle. So I'm playing this with a bit of input lag, but it's a puzzle game. Yeah, we're going to overwrite that. Capturing this on my quad-core Celeron Windows 10 laptop with the Windows 10 camera app, capturing this footage at 60 frames a second. And yeah, we're going to keep all 60 frames. I'm not screwed. But again, I'm capturing this at 768p. It's a super VGA resolution. So I'll compress it to 720p. This is interlaced also, because I wasn't able to use my HDMI splitter. Like, I wasn't able to use my J5 Create UHD 4K capture device because it couldn't capture the 480i image onto my computer. Basically, I guess it couldn't maintain a sync. I don't know. But with this Vivitar dongle, I can capture this footage from the SIG converter and through the HDMI cable into my computer using the camera app. So there are ways to capture PS2 footage on a laptop depending on the capture device you're using. That's kind of weird. But thankfully, my cheapest capture device is the one that does the job. No stereo sound, but it's an arcade game from '89. Who cares?